tuned to the International News Wrap, your go-to source for the latest developments from around the globe, exclusively on One India. From the unprecedented floods in Dubai to the escalating tensions threatening a potential third world war, there is no shortage of significant events shaping the international landscape. Today, we cover a spectrum of stories. The IDF hitting Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon, to Israel summoning envoys for voting in favor of Palestine's full UN membership. Stay tuned as we delve into the top international developments of the day, keeping you informed and up to date on the latest happenings across the globe. Israeli Defense Forces conducted overnight airstrikes on Saturday into Sunday, targeting multiple Hezbollah sites in southern Lebanon. The strikes aimed at Hezbollah assets, including an operative at a site in Ter Harfa, an observation post in Odyssey, and buildings used by the group in Khiam, according to the IDF. Earlier on April 20th, amid ongoing border tensions, Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon resulted in the deaths of at least 3 Hezbollah members. The IDF stated that the strikes targeted Hezbollah operatives in Aita Ash-Shab and Kfar Kila after they were detected entering the group's facilities. Subsequently, additional Hezbollah operatives were spotted at a site in Jebain before IDF fighter jets carried out another strike. Hezbollah confirmed the deaths of 3 members in the Jebain strike, bringing the group's casualties in the conflict to 285. Since October 8, Hezbollah has been launching daily attacks on Israeli communities and military positions along the border using rockets, drones, and anti-tank missiles, purportedly in solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza. Israel has issued warnings of potential warfare if Hezbollah persists in threatening northern Israel, prompting the evacuation of around 70,000 residents to avoid the conflict zone. Israel is preparing to summon ambassadors from several nations that voted in favor of granting full UN membership to Palestine. Oren Marmorstein, spokesperson for Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, announced that, at the directive of Foreign Minister Israel Katz, the Foreign Ministry will hold protest discussions with ambassadors from countries that supported the Security Council's decision to elevate the status of Palestinians at the UN. Among the nations whose ambassadors will be summoned are France, Malta, Japan, South Korea, Slovenia, and Ecuador. This protest follows the backing of the Algerian proposal, which aimed to upgrade Palestine's UN status but was ultimately rejected. Marmorstein emphasized Israel's opposition to recognizing Palestine as a full UN member state, stating, "Granting political gestures to the Palestinians and advocating for recognition of a Palestinian state, especially 6 months after the October 7 massacre, rewards terrorism." This action follows the Security Council's rejection of Palestine's bid for UN membership on Thursday, as the United States, a staunch ally of Israel, exercised its veto power. Ambassador Robert A. Wood of the US opposed the draft resolution in the UNSC. The concise draft resolution proposed Palestine's admission to the UN as a full member, marking a significant development in the Council's deliberations. Germany announced on Saturday its decision to deploy a new frigate to the Red Sea in August to bolster maritime security, which has been disrupted by attacks from Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels for several months. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius stated that the Hamburg will take over from the Hessen, which departed the region on Saturday. The Hessen had been operating in the area since February 23 as part of the European Union's Aspides mission, aimed at safeguarding ships in the region. According to the statement, the Hamburg has already escorted 27 merchant vessels in the intervention zone and successfully repelled drone and missile attacks by the Houthis on 4 occasions. The frigate carries approximately 240 military personnel on board. The Houthi rebels have claimed responsibility for nearly 100 attacks on vessels in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden over the past few months. They initiated these attacks in November, citing solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza as their motive. The escalating attacks in this crucial trade route have prompted retaliatory actions from US and British forces since January. Additionally, the US, a staunch ally of Israel, established a multinational task force in late 2023 aimed at safeguarding Red Sea shipping. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, following his meeting with Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh in Istanbul on Saturday, called on the Palestinians to unite amid the ongoing war in the Gaza Strip. As per the Turkish media reports, the talks that took place between the Turkish president and the Hamas chief on the banks of the Bosphorus Strait lasted for about more than 2.5 hours. It is vital that Palestinians act with unity in this process. The strongest response to Israel and the path to victory lie in unity and integrity, Erdogan said, according to a Turkish presidency statement. Hamas, which has been designated as a terrorist organization by the US, the European Union, and Israel, is an arch foe of the Fatah faction that governs the semi-autonomous Palestinian Authority in the occupied West Bank. The meeting between the two leaders also comes amid escalating tensions in the Middle East following reports of an Israeli counterattack on Iran. Erdogan, as per news agency AFP, said that the strained ties between Tel Aviv and Tehran should also not permit Israel to gain ground, and that it is important to act in a way that keeps attention on Gaza. Earlier on Tuesday, Erdogan hit out at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli leadership, condemning them for the escalation of tensions in the Middle East. He also launched a scathing attack on Netanyahu, stating that he was solely responsible for the lives lost during the war and that he was endangering his own countrymen and people in the region. China's Guangdong province is facing the imminent threat of severe floods as major rivers, waterways and reservoirs reach dangerous levels, prompting the government to activate emergency response measures to safeguard the lives of over 127 million residents. Local meteorological authorities described the situation as grim, noting that sections of rivers and tributaries in the Shijiang and Bijiang river basins are experiencing unprecedented water levels, with a rarity of occurrence estimated at 1 in 50 years, as reported by state broadcaster CCTV News. The Ministry of Water Resources in China issued an emergency advisory in response to the escalating situation, urging swift action to mitigate the risk of natural disasters. Officials in Guangdong province have instructed all local departments and municipalities to initiate emergency preparedness efforts, ensuring that disaster relief funds and materials are promptly allocated to provide essential provisions such as food, clothing, water, and shelter to affected individuals. The province has been battered by torrential downpours and strong winds resulting from severe convective weather patterns, a phenomena witnessed across various parts of China in recent weeks. State media reported that nearly 20,000 people have been evacuated from Qingguan, with reports of damage to power facilities in Zhaoqing, leading to localized power outages. In response, authorities in Qingguan and Shaoguan have suspended maritime traffic on several rivers, deploying emergency tugboats and rescue vessels to safeguard against potential disasters. Additionally, classes in kindergartens, primary and secondary schools in Qingguan have been suspended to ensure the safety of students and residents. Thank you for joining us on the International News Wrap. Stay tuned for more episodes.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.